We're here at my in-laws' beautifully wooded homestead today, and well, an unfortunate thing has happened. This oak tree behind me here has died, and sadly we need to get it cut down before it becomes a hazard to people or property. But we're here to make the best of it by harvesting some firewood and hopefully a couple logs to make some lumber in the future. Plus we might have some fun considering the number of saws and equipment and tractors that are here. So, all right, we've got a lot to get done. Hopefully you'll come along and join us.
Dig Drive DIY.
As I was talking about, this tree leans in this direction, and I mentioned a risk to property. And the biggest risk is what is directly underneath that tree. The well, electrical transformer that provides power to the house, the backup generator, 1,000-gallon propane tank are all directly underneath this tree. So it has to come down in pieces. It's got to come down safe and organized. That's where my brother-in-law Caleb comes in. He owns the tree service called Tree Love. So Caleb made up a special ramp that he can move with the tractor loader. Good? All right, we're here, we're getting all set up with all the equipment. Safety orange is on. It can't hurt at all. He'll be the one up in the bucket truck making sure that all this comes down nice and easy and organized like. We're gonna be roaming around in our tractors. I've got the 755 here with the Artillian Grapple. He's got a 1023E with a grapple on the front. We're gonna be making sure we're getting the brush away and all the limbs that he's cutting down. And we're just gonna work to start getting this thing on the ground. So we'll see how it goes. That's a porta wrap?
Yeah, porta wrap.
Porta wrap?
Porta wrap.
Porta wrap.
Like wrap around the tree.
I was thinking like what you eat. We have communicator helmets too, so that we can talk to each other. Caleb and Maddie and I all can hear and talk to each other. Caleb's on his way up now to do an initial assessment, see how high he can get in that tree. I measured the tree with a drone and I think it's about 83 feet overall to the top. He's got about 50, what's your reach, Caleb? 57 to the edge of the bucket. So you think you're gonna try to be able to do it without climbing at all or not? Okay, he says maybe a little. So he starts out a little bit further away from the tree so that limbs aren't falling on the top of the truck. And he's gonna start picking away at some of them small ones on the bottom first. Just clear his way up and around. One way to eat an elephant, right? One bite at a time. He's got to reposition the truck, so we're going to take the tractors and pick up all these limbs so he can back up. Well, we've reached the point where he's kind of at the limit of his bucket truck, and so he set up a porta wrap at the base of the tree. He's got what's called an X-ring up there to put around the limbs, and he's going to start rigging stuff down now. So he'll do as much as he can until he has to climb, if he has to climb. He's kind of hoping he doesn't have to, but we'll see. He can hear everything I'm saying, by the way, right now. I can hear everything he says in this. I wonder if I put this in my earmuff. Say hello to YouTube.
Hello, YouTube.
Howdy.
This is the half-inch Atlas rigging line we're using, the lowering rope. It's interesting in this industry because each region and different companies call different tools different things. So an interesting concept that's kind of hard in your mind. A lot of times we'll use pulleys or a block pulley, like an arborist block. But by using these rings, it actually gives us a little friction. And because of that, it puts less pressure up here. I'll take the power pruner, Maddie. And hopefully this is sharp.
You just want us to leave the rope hang for now?
Yeah, it's fine. So this is my partner in the business, Artillian. We've been working together for about 4 years, I guess. Headache.
That's a big one. It's getting late in the evening on a Saturday night. I think we got enough done for now. The ladies got supper ready over there. So we'll come back in the morning and we're gonna try to get the rest of the tree down tomorrow yet. All right, we're back on day 2. And one of the things I wanted to talk about was the management of all the brush and wood and debris that comes down. Tree services are always challenged with what to do with the wood. Sometimes they're lucky and some wood pirates will come and want to take the wood away. Sometimes they have to dispose of it, which means loading it up and finding a place to get rid of it. If they're really lucky, the homeowner wants to keep it. And that's obviously the case here. Rick's gonna keep all the small stuff to burn in their fireplace in the house, and I'm taking all the bigger stuff. And then obviously there's brush. And so the brush we're putting in the trailer, and then the big stuff I'm gonna load onto my trailer and take home. I think I figured out a way for you to be able to listen in. We'll see if it works. I'm testing to see if I can hear you and hear me. So can you hear me, Caleb?
Yeah.
I think you're on with the folks on YouTube now again. I'm gonna move my tractor so it doesn't get smashed. How much does that extend your reach then? I mean, that is making your bucket truck being able to complete this tree, basically because of that power pruner, right?
Yeah.
And you just like avoid climbing as much as you can just because it's just...
Anymore.
It's a lot more work, right?
Yeah, more physical work, and on these dead trees can be a little risky. And then this battery and the Husqvarna power pruner, it's shared with some of our other tools. Have a top handle Husqvarna saw, and we also have a Makita lineup. That takes one battery.
You got a lot of those Makita battery saws. Why do you prefer the Makita?
Several reasons. The price point is good on them. They seem to be commercial duty from what I've experienced. We've been running this one about 3 years. They have a good warranty.
Well, it's interesting though that a professional tree person would, be using a Makita, because I don't think when you think of chainsaws, you don't think Makitas.
Makita bought one of the original 3 chainsaw brands. The first 3 chainsaws introduced to the market were Husqvarna from Sweden, Stihl from Germany, and Dolmar. Makita actually bought Dolmar. And Echo's also a good chainsaw manufacturer. As far as I'm aware of, they have the best warranty in the business right now. So this would be referred to as a top handle saw. You can see that the 2 places you hold it are a little closer together. You can actually run the saw with one hand, but that's a no-no in our industry. A lot of guys have been cutting and had a saw kick back. So always 2 hands on the saw, even if you're a pro. There's a little ring on the back of the saw. I attach that to a locking carabiner. So if I drop the saw, I don't destroy the saw. A breakaway lanyard's great. This one coils up, so I'm not dragging around. I still have a ton of reach. This is a pretty big piece, white oak here, so we'll kind of be able to see how this saw performs. We're just gonna make a little back cut, keep it from peeling too much. Keep both feet on the floor in here. I didn't really like the standard bar that came with the Makita, so I actually put a Stihl brand bar on it. Stihl actually makes lightweight bars. A lot of people aren't aware of that, but over an 8-hour day of working, It saves your lower back, all that weight hanging out, you know, especially on a big 36-inch saw or whatever. That's mowing through it pretty good. Dead, hard, white oak. This limb's getting big enough where I'd prefer to have a little larger saw, cut a little quicker. Kind of trying to judge the lean on this center section. Looks like it's about 4.5 to 5 feet long. I think we're going to put a rope on that just to be able to tip it over.
There's a lot going on up there, even for something as simple, well, seemingly simple as like a dead tree removal. There's just a lot of things to think about to make it come out uneventful. Tell me about your truck a little bit, Caleb.
This truck?
Yeah.
We just purchased this truck about 4 months ago. Previous 20 years of my career, I climbed every tree that I did and also climbed trees for other tree services. Back to the truck, it's 1998. Boom on it is a High Ranger boom. I'm fully extended. It's 57 foot to the edge of the basket. It has a cat, turbo diesel in it. Got a fennel hitch on the back that I can tow my dump trailer and my tractor with. Future plans for it is to add some toolboxes. So what I like about this truck is that it was designed for the tree care industry. This one specifically for line clearance, trimming trees away from power lines. And I like the fact that it's a tree truck that's fully articulated. I can come totally this way or anywhere and flop all the way over and sit on the ground.
I didn't understand that at first, is that it would go in both directions, you know, right? It'll flop over itself?
Yeah, and they call that an over-center truck. The only thing that's awkward about actually going over center is your controls reverse.
Oh.
So maybe we'll use a couple simple, inexpensive tools here to do this. I have a weighted ball, a 1-pound ball that's filled with steel shot. Flip it up where I want it. Not required, but it can come in handy sometimes. And a lot of times they're out of reach like that. Get another special little tool out. I have a little electrician's fishing wires, I guess. Not very heavy duty, but...
So you didn't want to stand up on the edge of the bucket to reach that?
I've seen it done. Ready on the rope, Maddie? All right, so let's just chunk some pieces down. I'm going to take them a little bit small just so we can control them a little better. Something else I wanted to mention is I have a side gig on some weekends teaching safety in the industry and teaching climbing. Today's video is not a safety or teaching video. This is just for entertainment, and I'd encourage anybody that uses a chainsaw to reach out and get some safety training.
Well, I think you're teaching us a lot more than what the common user already knows, so it's all good info. So what they're trying to sort out are the benefits and negatives of trying to fell the whole tree all at once right now, or chunk it down into 3 logs. We got basically 36 feet left. That's not enough for 3 12-foot logs because you gotta have 12-foot 6 to get a 12-foot log. So we can do 10-foot 6, 12-foot 6, 12-foot 6. And it'd be a lot easier if we just fell the whole thing all in one big, you know, from the bottom. So I think, is that what you decided to try to do, Caleb?
I haven't really decided yet.
Okay, he's still working it out.
Yep.
Daddy, like right here?
Yes. Picking a zone for the tree to fall in. Girls got their orange shirts on today. Good thinking. Gotta miss the cones. That's where we want it to fall. What do you think, Al?
3-dimensional. Once we have a front cut in and a notch, a wedge, pie, whatever you want to call it, we don't want anybody walking in front of that. So I don't think we're really going to do anything with this rope for now. We get the face notch cut and we're scared, then we'll put it to use. 30, 38 you say? Mm-hmm. Right here. Yeah, it seems like you go further than that. Yeah, they always look taller than what they are. And then it'll probably jump about a foot off the stump when it comes off the stump. So.
Well, you want clear out at the end? You might miss it.
Over there. The willows back there. You missed my camera.
Good job.
Very nice.
Missed the well.
Okay, it's right where it's going.
I always like to do slow-mo shots.
Well, unfortunately, the log has a big crack in it. It's got a hole at both ends, so we're not going to be able to get as many logs as what we'd hoped. There's a good chance that most of this is going to be firewood. But we're going to start cutting in from both ends to kind of see if there's a good piece in the middle that can still be saved for a log and to make some lumber. And then the rest of it, it's going to wind up my wood boiler probably, but it's a heck of a nice tree. It's just such a shame that it came down. So now we're going to use both tractors and see if we can start getting things cleaned up, haul away as much as we can. Well, just did a heck of a good job loading this trailer. I got a pretty good jag on there. We got all the brush cleaned up. Most of it's raked up. All the brush is in the dump trailer ready to go. I got some more logs staged for the next load. Rick's got the smaller stuff chopped up for firewood for their fireplace. And the log remains. Both of Caleb's big saws are dull right now, so we're gonna wait. Chop the rest of that up. If there's anything left that's good enough for a log, we'll keep it. The rest of it, we'll go home in the stove. Well, the log's down on the ground. Everybody's safe. Nothing got broken yet. We got a load of logs to take home. We got a load of brush to dump. But the important thing is, dead trees down and not a risk. Good job, Caleb.
Thank you. Cheers.
Cheers. All right, I want to thank you for clicking on this video. I hope that you liked it. And if I'm lucky, I'll see you in the next one. See ya. Bye.
Bye.
I don't think we have any bloopers yet on this one either.
Good job. Yep.
Very nice.